We're here with Peter Dmitriyev, who is the director and producer of two of the short films.
And DP.
And DP,
And
wow.
editor.
And editor. Look at this guy, super multi-talented. Okay, which were the two short films that you directed and produced and edited?
Philly Furnish, that's the first one that we shot first, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then Daddy Day.
Okay.
Yeah, those, I only edited one of them, Philly Furnish. Someone else edited Daddy Day, I believe. So many shorts now, I'm getting confused. But yeah, and but I directed both, DP'd both, played other roles. But
Now, how did you get involved in television and film? Like, what was the start?
The start, well, actually, I used to be a composer, doing film composing, like media composing, Actually, yeah, that's the thing I forgot to mention. I composed the two films also.
Wow.
So initially, I was a composer, and I started seeing, the digital revolution take off, cameras like this, DSLR, stuff like that. People are making movies, so I said to myself, hey, I can do that too, So I bought a DSLR, started shooting my own little thing, started going on Craigslist, getting connections with people, and it literally built up from there into a freelance, career.
Nice. So what number short film is this for you? I mean, you've been doing this quite some time now?
Well, yeah, but this one is one of my earlier ones, but it's probably number like 2 and 3, basically. Mm-hmm. 2 and 3 in a row. Yeah.
Now, before you go in and direct something, because, an editor has a lot to do with how it comes out. You're almost recreating the story in post.
Yeah.
Now, how do you take what the writer has given you and what the actors have performed, and how do you create that into a story that isn't too far away from maybe the idea of how the writer had it? Or is it something that you guys collaborate on?
Yeah, well, no, luckily on this one, it was kind of a collaborative process where I helped Matt write them also. he did all the work, but, at least there was like a back and forth where I knew the story even before it went into script form. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So luckily for me, I knew it in and out. It wasn't like I was given a script and I had to study it. I had to figure things out on how to edit, the different scenes. I knew it so intimately that by the time editing came, I didn't even need a script as reference. I just jumped right into it.
Totally. Yeah. And so after these two short films, what's in your future?
The future? Well, I shot some more shorts, after this that have yet to be premiered also. We'll probably be premiering, sometime soon. So it's basically that and this whole thing, that's what this event is about, is trying to monetize this whole thing, trying to get people together so that we can get producers, basically use these as proof of concepts so that we can get, features and be paid to actually make them as opposed to out of our own pocket, making these things.
Speaking of monetization, where do you think the future is with digital and the way things are monetized today?
Well, definitely, it seems to be the trend as a lot of people are, distributing things nowadays. A lot of the top filmmakers that have been breaking out in Sundance and all that stuff, they're choosing to distribute the stuff digitally themselves because they're seeing all that third-party middleman in the digital age is not really needed. They just siphon some of the funds off of you. So, with the technology we have now, you can set up your own website, set up your own PayPal, all that stuff. Like if you've heard infamously, Louis C.K. did his thing. So a lot of people are doing it like that, and they're literally, once they have a film in a festival, they go on a tour where they tour their film through various theaters, and they just take 100% of the proceeds themselves, and distribute it however they want.
Nice.
So it cuts out the middleman.
Awesome. That's definitely one route. And so a lot of our audience out there, they're college kids. They're kids that are in school right now. What advice would you give to college kids who are sitting in the classroom who eventually one day want to end up in your shoes?
Well, it's hard to say because right now, I caught it right on the, right on the fringe where you could still have a realistic, possibility to get into it. But now it's becoming so oversaturated with this whole digital era where everyone and their grandmother's running around with cameras that for $1,000 outperform, 35 millimeter and things like that, and all these other new wave of cameras from the red cameras to Blackmagic cinema, all that stuff. So, my, advice to them would just be, just literally go in every possible direction, try to become, as multi-talented as you can, do the editing, because a lot of times in freelance you're hired for, because employers see they could get a package from you instead of just one thing. So you're hired over other people if you can shoot it and edit it and color correct it, as opposed to guys like, oh, I don't color correct, you have to pass it off on to someone else. know what I mean? So I would just say try to master everything because the tools now are out there. You know, you can go on YouTube and all that, find out, master every program. So that would be my...
So basically do it all because technology has now allowed people to do it all.
Yeah, basically, because if you only do one thing nowadays, you're really just going to get, you know, outperformed and overlooked, you know, by other more talented people.
So it's all about being a jack of all trades. That's what we learned today. Awesome. Thank you so much, Peter, man.